Yeah. And then they'll pretend that they didn't say that he never won the election.
Right.
They'll pretend. They pretend that they didn't question the election. They'll pretend that Hillary Clinton didn't do multiple speeches where she said that the election was stolen.
Yeah.
He's not a legitimate president. Russia stole the election with no evidence.
Yeah.
But when he questions the election, it's a threat to democracy.
CrossroadsIRL.com.
That no one who should be in a position of leadership wants that. And most of these people that could be effective in a position of leadership because they've led things before, whether it's businesses or what have you, they just don't want to have anything to do with it. It's just a horrible attack on your character. They don't play fair. They lie. They'll get people to say things that aren't true. They'll concoct stories. They'll put things out there with the aid of the intelligence community, like the Russia collusion agenda, like that thing. And then they get all the media that's on the left on board, and then they just repeat this mantra over and over: Russia collusion, Russia collusion.
Now, Joe Rogan is not a Republican. He's not a Republican. He's a libertarian. I think right now he's more independent than libertarian. And he's calling out both sides. During his interviews, he does a great job of not being partisan. He calls out success when he sees it. He says the things he likes. But then again, he calls out BS when BS shows up. And that's really why a lot of Democrat leadership do not go to his show, because he will ask them questions. He will ask them questions that no one else in mainstream media will dare ask, because they are the access media. They will treat a certain personality well so that that personality will validate their presence or their organization by showing up next time. They know that if they push back too hard on any politician, that they risk that politician not wanting to come back anymore, and then ostracizing that politician's base from watching their show. So they try to pander more to left-leaning, politicians and audiences. But those people will not come to the Joe Rogan experience, because Joe has established himself as a middle-of-the-ground person. He's in the middle. He doesn't push any agenda, whether it's for the left or the right. If you go to his show and you happen to come out smelling like a rose, good on you. Donald Trump went to his show just before the elections and he came out smelling like a rose, and it helped his numbers during the election. Kamala Harris was invited. She refused to go because Joe Rogan would not have done what most left-leaning outlets would do, glazing over her, praising her, and giving her softball questions. He would have essentially done what they all should have been doing, and she refused to go. And guess what happened during the elections? She lost by a landslide. Okay, Donald Trump says he won by a landslide, and when we flip it, Kamala Harris lost by a landslide as well. So whenever we kind of look at Joe Rogan's his interviews, it's really good. Like, I want to be as middle of the road as he is with calling out the left and the right. I am a conservative already. I am a conservative, but I am not. I am not a lefty. I'm not a righty. I am a conservative. Any one of these that matches their policies to policies I believe in, okay, if they have a greater percentage of policies that line up with my belief system, then I vote for that party. That's basically what I will do. Okay, now let's listen to the rest of this interview, because he's going to be naming names.
And then they'll pretend that they didn't say that he never won the election.
Right.
They'll pretend. They pretend that they didn't question the election. They'll pretend that Hillary Clinton didn't do multiple speeches where she said that the election was stolen.
Yeah.
He's not a legitimate president. Russia stole the election with no evidence.
Yeah.
But when he questions the election, it's a threat to democracy.
Right. Exactly.
It's just so convenient. And we live in this bizarre news cycle where there's information is coming at you so fast, you kind of forget about what the thing you were mad about 2 days ago that could affect the rest of the country for decades.
Right.
And you're just on to the next.
Yeah, and honestly, I find that disturbing, because those things that could affect the country and the world continue happening under the covers. And I hope we can be people who kind of, let's use the word or the term, stay awake. We stay awake to what's going on around us. We stay awake to the things that they are trying to hide from us. Because when we say, hey, what's going on over there? If the response is, oh, you're a bigot, you know that you're touching a raw spot. They are trying to hide this. They're trying to keep this from us. They want to pass something that's going to take away our freedoms. I mean, those are the signals. Once you begin to say, look, this is what I believe, and they begin to insult you and try to shame you, you're on the right track. Okay, you're on the right track. Same goes for the left and on the right. I've seen people on the right attempt to shame you from asking real questions. They like, I'm sorry, where are you from again? Where are you from again? Okay, because it's like you're asking questions that they're uncomfortable answering. All right, so so let me know your thoughts on Joe Rogan's comments, because we all saw it happening for 4 years. A bunch of us didn't feel free enough to call them out or say anything about it. Some of us don't have platforms where we can say our thoughts. I'm giving you my platform. Put your comments in the comment section.
Subscribe.
Thanks for watching, liking, and sharing this video. Please subscribe, leave a super thank, and join my membership to keep me doing this. A huge thank you to my supporters listed on the screen. Thank you for your donations and membership.
Thanks for watching.